Nebraska tonight.
Let's play Big Red Basketball.
Maupin and Betts chip it off, and taken by the Bruins and Kiki Rice, who has an assist-to-turnover ratio of 3 this season. An early touchdown low for Lauren Betts. She's going to make quick work in the paint, but an awkward angle there by Jessica Petrie.
Yeah, and they forced her to go to her other shoulder. She is so confident, goes so well, and scores so much to her left shoulder. Tough shot on the first one.
This is a Bruins team that's already 8th in the nation in paint points per game. They're going to want to get those touches as often as possible to Betts in the interior. Here is Prince now. Fun matchup between her and Kiki Rice. A ton of speed and confidence at the point guard position as Prince will take off. Spin on a dime. Can't get that to fall, but she's a sharpshooter from the mid-range this season.
And it was interesting, off the ball screen, both Betts and her defender were on Prince. There was an open player.
Neepkins given plenty of space. She can't knock that down, and ripping the ball off the rim is Maupin.
So important, as you mentioned, for the Huskers to get defensive rebounds. Maupin will be a key to that for the Huskers.
Logan Nisley, both these teams amongst the best shooting teams in the entire country. Snaking along the baseline there is Prince. She steps out of bounds for the first turnover of this game. Head coach Corey Close telling us before the game, I'm still looking for my team to continue to grow in our aggression and our defense, and they want to make strides here against a ranked opponent.
They had a week off this week, and over this last month, she wanted them to write a letter to themselves in the future about being more aggressive. They felt they were that in the USC game. Now, after a week off, will they come back with that same fire?
Are they meeting the expectations they set for themselves? Here's Betts spinning. She can't finish inside at close range. It's going to go out of bounds and to the Huskers.
And so you've got Jessica Petrie against Lauren Betts inside. She's made both of her shots here in the opening minutes tough inside.
Also coming off for Petrie, an 18.7 rebound, 2 block performance in their 5-point win against Indiana most recently. UCLA coming off a bye after their 34-point victory over their crosstown rival USC most recently. Here is Maupin getting the step, and she is smothered by Lauren Betts.
There was an opening just for a moment on the right side. Maupin thought she could exploit that, but Lauren Betts said, oh no, not this time.
She just obliterated that attempt. No mercy. There's a foul inside. Amy Williams, the head coach of the Cornhuskers at her alma mater, now in her 10th season, leads one of the best offenses in the country, top 10 in offensive rating, 13th at nearly 86 points per game, but looking for their first ranked win this season. They lost to USC and Iowa. They'll turn it over on that pass errantly thrown to Petrie.
Yeah, they were trying to execute a 2-player game here on the right side, and just I think Britt Prince saw something there with Petrie, but wasn't able to deliver the pass in the right place.
2 turnovers for the Huskers, but these teams have combined 0 for 5 to start this game. Here's Kiki Rice with the first bucket.
Yeah, Kiki Rice averaged 16 points per game against Nebraska last year. She's coming off that game against USC, 9 assists, 0 turnovers.
Logan Nisley lets it fly, comes up short. Gabriela Jaquez will come in for that rebound. Sprinting up the floor, the crossover and the take to the cup.
Jaquez had a terrific game against Nebraska in the Big Ten quarterfinals last year.
Callin Hay drains a 3, exactly what Nebraska needed here early.
They did need it. After some turnovers and some missed shots, you want to get that first basket to go in against a great team like UCLA.
An important senior leader and voice for the Huskers is the Minnesota native Callin Hay. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter as Rice almost loses her balance. And UCLA looking for another option. Stolen away by Britt Prince. She says, I'll take that. Igniting the fast break of the Cornhuskers, leaving it for Maupin for an easy 2.
Good defense by Prince. She leads the break and delivers a great pass to Maupin.
That was a 2-on-2 that she made look easy against an excellent defense in UCLA. Here's Neepkins looking for her first, but it's going to be a 3-second violation, turning it over for UCLA.
Well, we've seen UCLA attack here early. Jaquez so good at it, gets around Nisley and gets to the rim, and then the defense by Prince gets her hands up, knows the ball is going inside to Betts, and then dishes the ball off to Maupin in transition to get her going in the early action.
These teams are not just amongst the leaders of the Big Ten, but in the entire nation
Yeah.
in their offensive rating, both in the top 10. Nebraska is 10th, UCLA second in the country. That is how efficient these offenses are. Just pack a punch every time they're on the floor. Here is Maupin slicing, fearlessly going at Betts again, last year's Big Ten and National Defensive Player of the Year. Plowing her way through is Rice, and taking the charge is Callan Hake.
Well, first of all, the courage by Maupin on the other end after she had her shot blocked so fiercely, and then the bravery and courage of Hake. She does this all the time, but to step in there when Kiki Rice is going full steam down the court to draw that charge, that is a tough take for Hake.
Hake has long been called the anchor of the defense for the Huskers, gets folks organized, willing to sacrifice her body even with a smaller frame against the freight train. That was Kiki Rice, the speed she's able to pick up with the ball in her hands.
Yeah, she told us this afternoon at shoot around, I may not be the tallest ever, but you can't beat my heart and my passion and my willingness to do whatever it takes for my team.
And my preparedness. It all works together for Callan Hake for a successful Huskers career. Short corner shot for Lauren Betts, perfectly netted.
And that's the mid-range game. We've seen so much more of that for Lauren Betts this season, and she goes against so much physicality inside. She can step out and hit the mid-range game at a higher percentage now.
It's going to be a travel on the Huskers and their third turnover. That shot by Lauren Betts. She's been looking for her mid-range early and often. Last year, about 5% of her total attempts were from the mid-range. This season, nearly triple that, and she's shooting much better as well, 32% compared to 42%, and it's just helped her expand her game even further to the National Player of the Year candidate that she is.
Yeah, and she's preparing for the next level, but also what she can do to help UCLA be a better team. And because teams are so physical with her inside, if she can step out and hit that 10 to 15-foot jumper, that helps this team be even more potent offensively.
Neepkins will drive, kick. Charlize Ledger-Walker, sixth-year player for the Bruins, with Betts off the floor. Her sister Sienna Betts will check in as Duga is collapsed upon. Prince tries to snatch it away, but it will be Husker basketball.
So jump ball, possession arrow, Nebraska. The entire Husker bench was thinking that Prince got a strip here. Watch how she aggressively comes and rips the ball away. That's not easy to do against Dugalich, who is such a strong and powerful player inside.
We talk about Britt Prince's offense, but you have to recognize her defense. She's crafty on that side of the floor. Here with the basketball in her hands against Ledger-Walker. Tight roping along the baseline is Hake. How'd she get that pass across? Haley Weaver can't knock it down for Nebraska. But Weaver gets a hand in the passing lane. UCLA with the early lead over Nebraska, 6-1
from three. So of course they're going to continue to pound inside, but she's going to find different ways to score depending on how Nebraska defends her.
Just a long range two there. She hasn't quite extended her game out there yet. 0 for 1 in her career, but maybe she'll get there. Coach Corey Close thinks that could be on the horizon.
I just meant she
career.
stepped out toward that area from
That's
the mid-range. Yes.
Here's Britt Prince on the attack, going full length of the floor.
You know, and when Lauren Betts is not in the game, it's easier to get to the rim, and that's what Britt Prince just took advantage of.
Sienna Betts, the freshman, sister to Lauren. Charlize Ledger-Walker is going to reset right now, 10 seconds to shoot. Sienna Betts will line up a three. Can't knock it down. Dugalich doing the extra work to tap it away and finding Britt Prince with speed into the front court on the attack, and the rebound ripped down by Ledger-Walker.
And the younger Betts just got back and put her hands up. Good D.
Gianna Neepkins, her mid-range perfectly done. Neepkins, her first bucket.
And you're going to see this. You mentioned the high efficiency offense for both these teams. They like to score early in the shot clock and are going to push pace when they can.
Callan Hake trying to turn the corner for the Huskers. 3 for 10 shooting to start this game is Weaver along the baseline. Petra Bojan can't control that handoff. Still playing no whistle, and UCLA is going to come up with it. Neepkins sprinting the floor. She takes some contact and finishes through it.
What a strong move because Britt Prince was coming to rip that basketball away, and Neepkins, the transfer from Utah, takes it right at the rim. And look at the strength as she goes up through the contact off the backboard. That was the defense on the other end by Sienna Betts, and that ignited the fast break. If you have a missed shot or a long rebound, UCLA will take advantage.
Neepkins knocks down the free throw. She entered this game 14 of 15 from the free throw line this season. She is having a 50, 40, 90 season. Maybe won't qualify if that holds because she's only attempted now 16 free throws this season, but a remarkable shooter as Nebraska turns it over in the passing lane. Kiki Rice, who is so stealthy on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, and back to Neepkins, when she was at Utah last year, she almost had that. She had a 50, 44, and almost 90 at 89% from the free throw line.
89, gotta pick that up.
Right, that 1 percentage point.
2:30 to go in the first quarter. Back and forth between these two top 25 squads. Nebraska is still trying to find its groove. Offensively shooting 30%. Looking to their senior Hake to try and settle.
Sorry about that, Sloan. Watch the defense for UCLA. Anytime Nebraska drives in, there's a convergence of defenders. That time, Nebraska able to pull up Hargrove and hit the mid-range jumper, but they close off the paint so well and make it difficult for those paint points.
Maya Hargrove on that bucket. You'll see her and Angela Dugalich matched up, two potential 6th Player of the Year candidates, as Jaquez barrels her way into the paint.
She has that size advantage against Hake and just really goes in strong, and she's done that a couple of times already in this game.
Dugalich incredibly disruptive on the perimeter, lays out to try and get that loose ball. It's 5-on-4 for the Huskers. Hake can't capitalize. Kiki Rice needing some help, and now speed into the front court. It is hard to beat her, ball in her hand, and she kisses it off glass for 2.
And great concentration, because Hake came over to try to draw the offensive foul. Kiki Rice was under great body control and then used the backboard.
The way she's able to maneuver, contort her body, it's just remarkable. Big part of her ability to score. Short corner shot, but Maya Hargrove can't get that to fall.
Had a good look. Everything but went in, and she put it up off the rim.
Rice, a wild drive. Just reached career assist number 500 here in this first quarter. Couldn't get that other one there.
And Nebraska has a 2-for-1 opportunity here with the shot clock at the position it is if they move quickly.
Hake basically a lot of length in that pick and roll. She picks up her dribble. And Nebraska stagnant here before Petra Bojan misses everything. Back to the Huskers.
2 from double-digit deficits to come back for the victories.
Paying close attention.
I have been getting a lot of texts from family members about that.
A special year brewing for the men here in Lincoln. Here's UCLA with the basketball. 8-second differential shot in game clock. Pick and pop, then the drive by Dugalich, looks to drop it off, broken up by Claire Johnson, and shot clock is off for the Huskers. Kennedy Williams into the front court. Hargrove quickly turns and finishes.
Thought they should have taken a little extra time, but they had a wide open shot.
That is how we will end the first quarter. Number 4, UCLA holding on to a 2-possession lead heading into the second here in Lincoln. 17-11. In this matchup of great offense. Squad Purdue with the overtime winner against Washington. That's their first home win against a ranked opponent since 2018. That just scratches the surface.
I mean, and it just goes to show you, 9 teams ranked in the Big Ten. Others, 3 others receiving votes, 2 or 3 others receiving votes, and then teams that aren't are upsetting others. So it just shows the strength of this conference.
Teams continue to go cold here from 3, a combined 1 for 11. Make that 1 for 12 between these two teams, who are amongst the best in the nation at shooting from beyond the arc. A miss there inside by Jessica Petrie. Now UCLA will take over. Charlize Ledger-Walker into the front court.
And we talked about how efficient these two teams both are offensively, but the defense has come through here in the early going.
Eliza Maupin forces Lauren Betts into an awkward fadeaway, but a second opportunity for UCLA. They really thrive with their offense on second chance points. Lauren Betts unselfishly kicks it out under 10 seconds to shoot, and Rice is going to reestablish this offense. Using a high screen from Betts, just 2 seconds left. She speeds to the rim. Ledger Walker lets it fly. And yet again, no good from 3. UCLA 0 for 7 from distance. There's a whistle as Petrie tried to corral the loose ball.
And UCLA wasn't able to take advantage of its offensive rebounds in that possession. And then you see the foul committed by Dugalich as she tries to go after it. Good job by Petrie securing the ball.
UCLA second in the Big Ten in offensive rebound rate, second in second chance points as well. So that really helps fuel their offense. Still shooting 44% despite 0 for 7 from distance.
It was a big part of their win over USC. That game was tied early between the teams, and UCLA just really spread it out.
Logan Nisley drains Nebraska's second triple.
So Hake made the first three-pointer of the game, the first score of the game for the Huskers, but they've gone on a cold spell. Nisley is one of those players for the Huskers that has the ability to drain from 3.
A prolific three-point shooting team. Is Nebraska in the Big Ten consistently toward the top in 3s per game? Jaquez, skip pass, extra pass here is Rice sprinting to the rim, and she'll be shooting 2.
And Rice really attacking Petrie there, who left Lauren Betts to defend. But the ball reversal here, Britt Prince so good at drawing the defenders, drawing attention to kick it out to Nisley, who's shooting 49% from three-point range.
Rice good on the first at the free throw line this season, 87%.
You know, and when a player has such a big job like Jessica Petrie does to defend Lauren Betts, and the fact that Rice was able to get around her defender and draw Petrie over and draw a foul on Petrie, not against Betts, but against Kiki Rice, that's a big play for Kiki Rice to just elevate her team.
Prince, long range 2, off target that time. The rebound ripped down by Rice, accelerating this fast break, looking for a lob to Lauren Betts. She can't convert, gets the offensive rebound and put back though. Now she's got 4 points on 1 of 5 shooting, make that 2 of 5 shooting.
Good determination and focus as she had players flying at her over and over and still able to deliver.
Nebraska's made it tough at close range for Lauren Betts at 6'7", trying to fluster her inside. 10 to shoot for Nebraska. That 3 doesn't fall for Petrie. And UCLA working hard on the glass. That is Jaquez and Williams diving for the loose ball.
We see Williams getting on the floor. We see Betts on that previous play hustling, gathering. Couldn't get the first one, keeps the ball up high, goes up through a couple of defenders. It's been difficult. Nebraska has made it difficult for her to score inside, but you see she's still kind of clapping her hands together like, I need to hit the first one. 2 for 6, unusual for Lauren Betts here in the early going. She and her sister in the game together right now.
Sienna Betts looks inside to Lauren, inside, outside, and Betts lets it fly, hits nothing, and UCLA still leads 21-14. Lauren Betts, Big Ten Player of the Week last week, and you look at those numbers, over 20 points, nearly 12 rebounds, and 3 wins for UCLA, including that 34-point victory over their rival USC. They outshot the Trojans 54-27, bested them in nearly every major category, and an emphatic win. And a direct reversal of what happened in the regular season last year between these two. Prince in trouble, somehow able to find Nisley. Maupin sidesteps a defender, and it's a blocking foul inside.
So we've seen a couple of different defenders on Britt Prince for UCLA. Kiki Rice has picked her up a few times. Now it's Ledger Walker who has been on her, but with the switching, that time Ledger Walker ends up picking up the foul.
Well, Britt Prince is very familiar to the UCLA coaching staff. They recruited her heavily out of her high school in Omaha as Lauren Betts again stops another attempt inside.
Yeah, Petrie puts the ball on the floor, tries to get around Betts, but the reach, I mean, her length, so difficult to get shots. You can see why their percentage defense in the paint is so high.
Prince over two defenders fading and is able to hit.
That mid-range game is typically gold for Britt Prince at UCLA, making her work for everything tonight.
Prince shooting 59% from the floor, and Gianna Neepkins not far behind with that triple.
Yeah, she is a tremendous shooter at all levels, but her specialty is certainly the three.
Leads all scorers with 8 points on 3 of 4 shooting, 1 for 2 from distance as Maupin loses control, trying to regain it, and Lauren Betts keeps her head up looking for a teammate. Neepkins slices into the paint. Sienna Betts takes care of it.
And good work by Sienna Betts to get down and be a good target there for the pass.
A 10-point lead for UCLA. Jaquez fouls Britt Prince as she was trying to retrieve that ball.
So earlier we saw the ball go inside to Lauren Betts. Here comes the double team, and a good passer is Lauren Betts. She is able to deliver out to Neepkins, and then she triggers the fast break. After Maupin loses control, Neepkins returns the favor, this time to Sienna Betts in transition.
The Huskers with the basketball, shooting 33% compared to 48% for UCLA. Getting the step, getting the bucket is Britt Prince taking it into her own hands.
And that time she refused the screen. Lauren Betts was on the high side, so she didn't go that direction. It was a wide open lane to the rim.
Midway point of the second quarter here in Lincoln. Pop it into the paint is Jaquez. She has that denied, out of bounds. It's going to be Husker basketball. 26-18 lead over Nebraska.
You know, and outside the Big Ten, Texas lost today to LSU, and that's a team that gave UCLA its only loss, so an opportunity for UCLA to bump up in the standings after the Texas loss.
Head coach Corey Close said, we're actually thankful for that loss against Texas, because having our first loss deep into January or even February the last couple of years is actually detrimental to us. That really getting our teeth, getting a good beat down there by Texas was really an important opportunity for this team at that point in the season. Rice is held up as she tried to push that through traffic.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting part of our conversation with Corey Close. The fact that in being excessive or unnecessary, so play on.
Neepkins has been fantastic in this first quarter, dishes it off to Dugalich, now back in her hands, gets Prince in the air. Good opportunity for Kiki Rice, who drains the triple. UCLA had been 1 for 10 before she sticks that one.
Yeah, 35% three-point shooter on the year, and that was a beautiful pass from Neepkins to set up Rice.
Backdoor cut, Haley Weaver will finish at close range. A quick bucket for the Huskers.
That's not an easy shot to make without using the backboard. She really had to touch it up over the rim.
UCLA, that flies out of bounds. That'll be turnover number 6 for the Bruins.
Dugalich just turned around to the bench and said, my bad. Yeah, she whipped that ball down there. There was no chance for Lauren Betts to catch that basketball.
Yeah, there's no assigning blame anywhere else.
Oh, that was mine.
13 combined turnovers for these teams so far. The Bruins leading by 9 in this number 4 versus number 25 matchup.
I mean, Dugalich is so impressive to me. What an aggressive player she is, what she brings to the court, and the fact that she came to Corey Close and said, I don't care if I never start a game again, I'll come off the bench as long as you rely on me in the last 5 minutes of the game.
Averaging career highs in points and rebounds per game. Despite coming off the bench, she has relished that role and the trust that comes along with it. Petrie over Lauren Betts, tries something crafty, couldn't get the finish. Rice waits For Lauren Betts, 3 minutes to play in the second quarter as Hawkes gives a look at the rim. The lob inside to Betts. She's wrapped up, and a three-point play opportunity coming up.
Boy, that was some physicality by Lauren Betts because Petrie kind of got her arm pinned down. She was not able to get a hand up. So you see the screen and roll. The pick is being set on the wing, and then Betts just goes down. But she's got Petrie's arm clamped down. There's no way that Petrie can get her arm around, and then Petrie gets called for the foul. That's just some crafty offensive post player from Lauren Betts.
She paused, as did I, to make sure that basket counted. She had to make sure before she let out that roar to celebrate. You can tell she is feeling good right now, up to 7 points, 3 rebounds for Lauren Betts.
And it sends Petrie to the bench now with 2 fouls, so Bojan needs to step up. Bojan has been good this year, but the last couple of games not as productive.
Stolen away on that attempt by Bojan, who had started most of the games this season before the last 4, replaced by Eliza Maupin. Kiki Rice falling away. Weak side rebound, Sienna Betts. Here is Neepkins for 3. She's got it.
And Neasley was trying to block out, and then she got tied up inside, so she couldn't get out for the defense.
Prince looking to resettle the Huskers. Hargrove rising, firing, and she'll be shooting 2.
This will be the first free throw attempt of the game for the Huskers.
UCLA foul number 16, Sienna Betts, her first personal
Stick
foul.
with us at the half. We're going to send it to Mike Hall, Shimmy Miller, and Genesis Bryant on the halftime show. They'll have plenty to talk about with the upsets that we have seen. Minnesota, Purdue picking up those upsets today over USC and Washington respectively. They'll break down this first half as well, and this top 25 matchup of top 10 offenses in the country. And Hargrove good on the second.
UCLA shooting 48% here on the road after a week off. Their last time playing last weekend against USC. Nebraska, on the other hand, being held to 35% here in the first half.
Betts to Betts, high-low. Not that time for Lauren Betts, but snatched up by Hawkes for a second chance opportunity. Lauren Betts, a hard drop step and tough finish.
And that time when she went to her right shoulder, she just took her time. She made sure she was balanced, and she put it square off the backboard.
90 seconds to go in the first half here in Lincoln. Callan Hake trying to ignite her team with the long ball, not there.
So an offensive
Another
rebound.
opportunity for Callan Hake, and this time she drains it.
And that's where the Bruins have been taking advantage of some offensive rebounds. That's the first time, I believe, for Nebraska to really take advantage of their offensive rebound.
Remaining in the second quarter.
Lena Bilic on the drive, 10 seconds to shoot, and time running out for Rice and UCLA's offense. Rice darts hard to the rim, can't kiss it off glass. Tracked down by Hake deep in the corner. 40 seconds to go in half number 1. Hake slicing, leaving it for Prince, trying to go one-on-one against Bilic. Stops on a dime off 1 foot. And now UCLA ball, shot clock is off, and Rice slowing things down.
Prince just 3 of 7 here in the first half. Everything that she has tried to do, the Bruins have made it difficult for her. Rice letting the time wind down. Uses a high screen from Lauren Betts. Here's a good look for Hawkes for 3. And now 3.3 seconds left.
That's up by UCLA. It's Nebraska basketball. Checking in for UCLA number 5, Charlie Lecter Walker.
37-25, number 4 UCLA's lead. Has consistently maintained this cushion throughout the first half, shooting 45%, equaling Nebraska with 3 threes, but they're also out-rebounding the Huskers 22-15 so far.
UCLA bringing up the full court pressure to not allow Nebraska an easy shot here with 3.3.
Over to Kennedy Williams. She pushes her way up the floor, will loft it up, hits rim, and will not fall, but a fantastic attempt. We head to
play here on the road, and then holding Britt Prince to just 3 of 7 from the field. So we'll see if Nebraska is able to get into the paint and get higher percentage shots here in the second half, because they've been held in check here in the first half as far as scoring percentage.
Nebraska is 11th in the nation in points per game, averaging nearly 86 per contest. Their first possession is a turnover. UCLA looking to capitalize, but stepping out of bounds is Hawkes. A turnover right in front of Corey Close.
You know, in the second half, you always get the team's offense right in front of their respective benches, and right out of the halftime locker room, after all the things they talked about, both teams have a turnover. That's always frustrating coming out of the locker room.
Both coaches didn't even seem to have a major reaction. They just said, all right, on to the next one.
And it was the right thought as a foul is called away from the basketball, but I thought Nebraska had the right thought to try to backdoor to Britt Prince. It just wasn't a very well delivered pass out in front of her, and it was good defense to not allow that pass to be made.
Nebraska's only losses this season to Iowa and USC, still seeking its first ranked win of the season. UCLA, meanwhile, perfect to start Big Ten play, 4-0. Their only loss to Texas this year. Second possession of the second half in the hands of Prince. Trying to look back door. Charlize Ledger-Walker right there to knock it away.
And a couple of times now the Huskers trying to go for backdoor passes, and UCLA recovering extremely well. And then again, that sideline just needs to be a little bit wider for UCLA here in the second half.
Well, Nebraska has been drastically different when it comes to playing unranked versus ranked opponents. Look at the points per game, nearly 90 compared to just 71 in their 2 games against ranked opponents. They have just not been able to fire how they're used to. But an easy look inside. Khaled Hank was in traffic as a big smile, getting back on defense, able to find Jessica Petrie.
Yeah, Nebraska's 2 losses here at home to USC right after the holiday break, and then on the road at Iowa.
There's nothing you can do there. That was as deep a post-up Lauren Betts could get.
Yeah, when you have a talented post player like Lauren Betts and she positions herself like that, there's just no stopping her once they get her the basketball.
Just buried, and she takes advantage. Hake, the lob inside to Maupin. Somehow she corrals it. That's another part of this Nebraska offense. They just say, throw it up to her, she'll go get it. That time can't convert, though. A 3-point opportunity on the way, and canned by Ledger-Walker.
And that's the second time that Nisley has gotten caught up inside. She was helping with the double team and did not get out to defend the 3-point shot that was made.
We know that Lauren Betts is such an unselfish player. If she's being heavily double-teamed, she will kick it out to teammates, but you know she loves the attention she's getting, leading to opportunities like that. Meanwhile, Nebraska's offense looking out of sorts here. Now 7 seconds to shoot. Britt Prince will drive, leave it for Maupin, and she's got the triple.
That does not happen very often, as that's just the 5th 3-pointer of the season for Maupin, but she got herself into position when Prince was in trouble.
4th straight start for Maupin. Here is Neepkins, who's off target. Rising above everyone is Lauren Betts, earning herself a trip to the free throw line on the follow.
Lauren Betts positions herself so well, great footwork as she is being defended by Jessica Petrie a couple of possessions ago. Look at she positions and just moves herself into place, and that's the ball reversal that sets her up. So she knows where to put her feet, where to put her body as the ball is reversed, so that she's a great target.
2 of those 5 rebounds on the offensive end in Big Ten play. And Brenda, she's averaging 5 offensive rebounds per game. And another opportunity here at the free throw line.
Well, and she does a good job of using her length and pinning her defender. Even if they're trying to block her out, she pins them under the basket so she can go straight up and get a lot of those offensive rebounds, even with somebody in front of her.
What you hear from opposing coaches playing UCLA is how physical Lauren Betts is. She puts her size to use. Bojan almost loses it. Britt Prince has that blocked on the perimeter. That is 3 for Lauren Betts tonight. She is patrolling in the paint and far outside, and then gets the steal. Up ahead, Neepkins leaks out behind everyone. Wrap-around pass looking for Hawkes, and UCLA silencing the crowd in Lincoln.
Yeah, doing a terrific job defensively. They flowed with the basketball on the other end, did not give Nebraska any good looks, and then they were off to the races in the fast break.
UCLA, we know how much talent is on this team. They are operating like a machine to start the second half.
And look at how they converge in the paint. We showed you the graphic at the very beginning of this game of how they defend in the paint. They are just terrific at not allowing easy shots inside. And every time Nebraska has tried to drive into the paint to try to create or look for a roll to pass to, they're there converging on the basketball.
Prince guarded by Rice. Then the switch. You'll see UCLA switch 1 through 5 often this season. Here is Callan Hake launching a 3 off target that time. Good effort by Williams to keep it alive. Gets into the paint. Can't get the roll.
A good hustle to go get the basketball, but just couldn't convert.
Hawkes darting to the rim. More free throws coming up. They are catching Nebraska. Not quite ready to get back. And Coach Amy Williams told us how important transition defense is for her squad tonight.
You know, it's just been terrific defense. The terrific defense by UCLA, as you mentioned, they're switching 1 through 5. That puts Lauren Betts on Britt Prince so that Prince has to try to go up over her. And here's what happened as she was getting the screen. Lauren Betts steps out and blocks a 3-point shot with that length, and there's not a lot of post players that can step out on a ball screen and do that.
She is a force, offensively, defensively, and she's helping her team to a 17-point lead. Nebraska has not led since it was 7-6 about midway through the first quarter. UCLA has been in the driver's seat here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Kennedy Williams now orchestrating this offense for the Huskers in her first season coming off an injury. And UCLA pushing the Huskers away from the basket regularly. Hake trying to get free, but penetration's been hard to find. Underneath is Hargrove getting fouls. Wednesday, see more women's hoops on Big Ten Plus when the Bruins continue their road trip against Minnesota. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on. And this one's going to be exciting, Brenda, because the Gophers are one of the most elite defenses in the country. They nearly beat Maryland, nearly beat Michigan, finally get that upset against number 21 USC, their first ranked win since 2019, so they're going to be extra motivated to knock off another LA team.
And Don Plitzel-White's team's always smart defensive teams, and you know they'll give UCLA some different things to look at.
Neepkins, how about another? That is 3 long balls today.
And it's just all the attention that Nebraska has to give in the paint that allows UCLA to skip the ball or go inside and out. This time it was a skip pass to set up Neepkins. As look at all the attention, looking at the basketball, losing track of Neepkins. You cannot lose track of her on the offside as she is such a tremendously efficient 3-point shooter.
Worth repeating again, 47% from 3 this season.
And it's the largest deficit that the Huskers have faced as UCLA continues to put the pressure on defensively and making it difficult for Nebraska to get any kind of good looks on the offensive end.
Nebraska cruised through its non-conference, started 12-0 on the season, and the competition has increased. They've been sputtering a bit, as you mentioned, largest deficit of the season in place right now. Previously 16 points is Bojan. A quick turnaround. Johnson tries to fly through, and again, UCLA puts its foot on the gas in the hands of Kiki Rice.
It's like every time Nebraska seems to be in position to maybe get an offensive rebound, there's somebody there to strip the basketball away.
Looking a high-low from distance. Betts is held up. UCLA 1.13. That is a significant difference. It doesn't sound like it, but UCLA really taking advantage of its efficiency on the offensive end and clamping down on defense. Deep post up for Sienna Betts. 3-second violation, though, against Bojan.
Nebraska basketball.
Yeah, against Betts as she was going up against Bojan inside. And they were kind of hand fighting inside just for Betts to try to get position. And then Betts ends up getting called for 3 seconds.
Working through Haley Weaver just outside the paint. Prince still trying to get her offense ignited. Slices through the paint over 3 blue jerseys. And Petra Bojan fouled on the follow-through.
UCLA
You
foul
saw
number
Britt
32.
Prince getting around the defenders to get into the paint where she is typically so efficient. But look at, she has 2 defenders going up at her, and Duga Leach might have a case there. She thought she got a clean block, but it was good effort by Bojan to go get an offensive rebound and get a trip to the free throw line.
Well, UCLA as a team already has 6 blocks today. They're normally averaging 4.4. So that's another way their defense has had an impact against the Huskers. The free throw coming up here for Bojan, the sophomore. And she goes 0 for 2. Maybe that's a little ball don't lie right there.
Might be.
4 minutes to play. A dump down inside to Sienna Betts, one-on-one. Gets the angle, gets the finish.
Tough shot. Uses her strength as a freshman, learning more and more about her positioning and footwork each game.
That's something her head coach, Corey Close, talks about, where the transition to college, you're relearning things at a different pace with a different kind of urgency and intensity, but she believes that she's going to be a big-time dominant player in the Big Ten. Missed the first 10 games of the season with the injury. Now 3 seconds to shoot. Hargrove, no good on the mid-range, and again, UCLA keeping Nebraska off the glass.
And making any shots by Britt Prince difficult.
Lena Bilic against their fellow Croatian in Bojan. And Bojan able to get it up ahead for Nebraska.
You know, keep in mind when these 2 teams met in the quarterfinals last year, Britt Prince really broke through. She had a career high for last season with 24 points, played with great pace, and she's gotten all the attention of the UCLA defense tonight.
8 to shoot as that trickles out of bounds.
Doesn't mean it didn't hurt. A little bit.
That is very true.
But still, not rising to that level of excessive or unnecessary. She was definitely swiping down at the basketball, but Maupin still goes to the free throw line for the foul.
6 points for Maupin, make it 7 now. And Nebraska needing any kind of offense. They have not hit a field goal, nearing 5 minutes now. Under 3 to go in the third frame. Little give and go. Ledger Walker left 2 free, and she drains the triple.
Yeah, the transfer from Washington State, didn't play last year, so experienced, so good.
Travel on Maupin, giving it back to UCLA. But it's fun to see this version, this post-injury version of Charlize Ledger Walker, where she's scoring less than what we saw in previous years at Washington State, but she said, look who's around me, look who I'm playing with. I get just as much joy playing basketball, setting my teammates up as I do being the primary scorer. You can tell how much she's enjoying this season in UCLA. Sienna Betts trying to muscle it up off the miss. Stay Bruin basketball with 10 to shoot.
And Ledger Walker is such a leader on this team. She sat out for 650 days between her injury and being able to play a game. And as Lauren Betts comes into the game to replace her younger sister, Ledger Walker, watching her in practice, she was stepping in and helping the coaches with the scouting report and clarifying for her teammates and making sure that her voice was being heard.
UCLA foul number 5.
And she immediately goes to help up Maya Hargrove on a hard fall, going for that rebound opportunity. She's also just a really engaging and magnetic personality too. Talking about Ledger Walker, she just started here in the latter stages of the third, but 0 field goals for 5.5 minutes for for this Nebraska offense that is 10th in the nation in offensive rating, 13th in points per game. They have just been heavily stifled by UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA's defense has not allowed the ball to come into the paint, not allowing easy looks and high efficient looks from the paint, and they're recovering out on the three-point shooters quickly to not allow Nebraska to take advantage of that part of their game.
Nebraska trying to dial up the intensity with a full court press. Maupin in the passing lane, and maybe that can try to fuel this team.
Checking in from Bruins number 1, Kiki Rice.
Talking about the inside game and the fact that 2-point percentage, look at these teams, they are some of the best in the country. Nebraska shooting 58% from 2-point range, just under 58% for UCLA. However, UCLA defends at a high level in the paint, and we've seen that today.
Rice will swing it over to Hawkes. Neepkins has been hot hand all night long. Another deep post up, too deep for Lauren Betts on the interior.
Yeah, Lauren Betts got away with one that time. She took Maupin and threw her out of the way and then went and posted up.
Lauren Betts now up to 14 points, 5 rebounds. Here is Hawkes from 3. And weak side rebound comes out to Weaver. She's pushing the pace for the Huskers, looking to go the entire length of the floor, can't convert. And Ledger Walker comes up with it again. It is Neepkins beating everyone down for the lay-in on the fast break.
UCLA has just been so good and so strong with the basketball. So many times tonight, Nebraska has appeared to get their hands on the ball and then have fumbled it away or have had it stripped away. Conversely, UCLA is taking advantage of every loose ball opportunity and scoring in transition.
The Bruins doubling up the Huskers here in quarter number 3, 22-11.
I mentioned earlier that Lauren Betts may have gotten away with one, as after she comes off that screen, watch her as she just kind of grabs and throws Maupin out of the way as she gets her position, but nonetheless got great post-up position. And then just the defense down here. Ledger Walker getting in the passing lane, as I've mentioned over and over in this game. Nothing easy in the paint for the Huskers, and then the defense triggers the transition game.
Maupin back at the free throw line. Misses that time, has 7 points today. The leading scorer for Nebraska, Maya Hargrove, with 10 points, 6 of those coming from the free throw line.
And again, Britt Prince, who leads this team in scoring with 19 points a game, is shooting 59% on the year, 51% from three-point range, has been held to just 3 of 10 for 6 points in this game.
Coach Close has been saying our defense needs to get in gear, just like our offense is, second in the nation in offensive rating. This is a good place to start, but UCLA turns it over there. Callan Hake barreling down the floor. 45 seconds to play before the fourth quarter. That foul is going to go on Ledger Walker.
Well, and to your point, Corey Close has told her team over and over, 5 of the last 6 national champions have led the nation in defense, and that's what she wants this team to do. Earlier in the year, they were at 14th ranked in defensive efficiency, and since then they have moved up to 5th in the country. Defense has become a priority for the Bruins, and you see it on display tonight.
Hank's second free throw is good for the Huskers. Back to a 20-point lead for UCLA, with the full court pressure here continuing for the Cornhuskers. 35 seconds on the clock as Rice waits for that high screen from Betts. It's going to be an offensive foul on that pick and roll attempt.
UCLA foul number 51, Lauren Betts. Her first personal foul.
That'll be just her first. And Coach Close wants a further explanation.
Yeah, the screen being set by Betts there, you see she kind of turns her shoulder and kind of leads with her shoulder on the screen instead of being squared and giving the defender time and distance to come into the screen.
Less than 2 seconds separate shot and game clock for Nebraska. Prince has been able to find barely any breathing room against this UCLA defense. Here is Petrie sweeping across the paint in the left-handed finish. Ledger Walker throws it up ahead to Neepkins. The lob to Lauren Betts, gets it up in time, and that's how the third will end.
Over and over, UCLA has scored in
Tramps here in Lincoln. Over with the gymnasts here. Our heart goes out to the Hartung family and Nebraska athletics for the passing of this legend.
Yeah, he's a legend in Husker athletics and has meant a lot to this program for a number of years.
Start of the fourth quarter here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. UCLA playing scrappy basketball, trying to come up with it. And a 2-on-1 opportunity materializes. Jaquez on the attempted alley-oop will shoot two.
Every time Nebraska has taken the ball in the paint, they are well defended. It was stopped and snuffed out on the offensive end for Nebraska, and then as the scramble for the loose ball, a lot of Nebraska players were trying to converge, but as we've seen time and time again tonight, UCLA secured it and pushed up ahead to be able to score in transition.
The Big Show delivers highlights, interviews, and complete post-game analysis. That's coming up next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Plan to go over certainly today in the world of women's basketball. Huge upsets today. Purdue over Washington in overtime. Minnesota over USC by 1 point. Their first ranked victory since 2019. Isaiah Hargrove darting her way to the net.
Kennedy Williams doing a nice job at just putting her head down and getting inside and delivering a nice pass.
Neepkins has been fantastic today. 16 points, normally averaging 14 per game her first season in Westwood. Came here wanting to develop her entire game, including her defense. Can still shoot it from long range, though, of course. Here's Lauren Betts on the second opportunity. Looking smooth.
Well, and Neepkins finally misses a three-point attempt, and it's right into the hands of Lauren Betts. Just the kind of night UCLA is having.
Lauren Betts snatches another away. That is 4 blocks for Betts tonight.
She is so good at closing space, quickly getting over there in position. She has great length, but she covers a lot of ground.
Lauren Betts has been spectacular.
And watch the backdoor cut. Haig thinks she has the shot there, and Betts rotating over to block it. A lot of pressure in the passing lanes for UCLA, so Nebraska has tried to make backdoor cuts and tried to attack that way, and UCLA has rotated or gotten into position, or there you saw the rotation from Betts to block the shot.
It sometimes feels like you're just funneling your offense to Betts. Lost by Prince. UCLA looking to pounce. Look at the speed of Kiki Rice going all the way. Offensive rebound and put back there for Sienna Betts.
And again, Nebraska Hargrove seemed to have position, but instead the ball ends up in the hands of UCLA as they have been stronger to the ball tonight.
The lob into Sienna Betts, poked away by Petrie. How about Lauren Betts today? We are used to what she's capable of on the offensive end. She has a career-high rusher. Jaquez guarding Prince, getting it over half court. Prince today just 6 points, 3 of 11 shooting. She's normally leading this team at 19 points per game, now in the hands of Williams. Nebraska has just not been able to find its flow offensively. One of the best offenses in the country. Here's Hank on a difficult take, and she'll be shooting 2.
Yeah, everything has been difficult. That's how Hank's able to draw the foul, but UCLA has been in passing lanes. They're using their length to make it difficult to make any backdoor passes or any passes cleanly and easily. It's just been a rough night for the Husker offense because of the tough, aggressive UCLA defense.
Checking into the game, Lena Bilic for Kiki Rice.
Lena Bilic. 2 shots for Cal Haig.
And Hake good on the first. The last time we saw these two in this building was all the way back in 2013. That's, well, quite some time ago at this point. And you can even see Brenda Van Leggen right underneath the outstretched arm of the UCLA player jumping. So you were in the first game in this building.
Yeah, it was quite an honor. As they broke in the Pinnacle Bank Arena, I was here for that game. I think both radio announce crews for Nebraska and UCLA were here as well. We were all talking about that before the game. It was a big win for Nebraska, but the tables have turned here this year in this matchup.
That was Jordan Hooper, who was in the center circle for the jump as well. That was a fun era of Husker basketball. Here's Sienna Betts on a little hook shot. Every time Betts scores or does something well, you see Lauren clapping, cheering, roaring in her support.
I mean, what an opportunity for the two sisters to be able to play on the court and get this time together. Of course, they practice together a lot, but to get so much time on the court.
With the score inside. 69-47, under 6:30 to go.
UCLA coming in here off a week off. They haven't played since the drubbing of USC last weekend in Poly Pavilion. This is a team that is one of the oldest teams, if not the oldest team as far as experience in the Big Ten Conference. Their top 6 players are 3 grad students and 3 seniors, and you can see the experience on display tonight.
3-second violation on Fisher and Nebraska. We'll turn it over to UCLA. 15 turnovers for the Huskers. Nebraska has been trailing for the vast majority of this game, but what do they have in the tank right now to potentially try and make a push? Under 6 minutes to go here at home. It's going to be a whistle. Britt Prince hitting the deck. That's going to go on UCLA. It'll be on Sienna Betts.
They're getting up a little slowly here. As you see, Prince is in the lane and tries to go around and gets. You saw Sienna Betts get her hands out away from her in a little shove on the screen. You know, you come in here if you're Nebraska knowing that UCLA is the 4th ranked team in the country, how prolific they are at scoring, how experienced they are. But this is not the kind of performance that Nebraska wanted to have. And you want to see a shot like that go down late or some energy late to try to get at least a little momentum here before they move on. It's tough night in and night out in the Big Ten, and UCLA on the road tonight has just been fantastic.
Hawkes is fouled.
Nebraska
is still in search of its first ranked win of the season. They'll have another opportunity Thursday at Michigan State. Wisconsin, Illinois, Northwestern, a couple home games sprinkled in there, and then against another ranked team in Ohio State. Ohio State picking up a top 10 victory today themselves. This team, led by Jelani Cambridge, just a sophomore, named as one of the 5 players in the Big Ten to the Wooden Award mid-season top 25. It was really fun this week. I'm sure you saw it on social media, Brenda, where she is playing at Illinois. Asia Wilson is at the game, and there was an earlier social media video with the 2 Cambridge sisters.
That's right.
Saying, I would have loved to play in front of Asia Wilson. That is the celebrity I would most want to see at a game. And she put up 41 points, Jelani Cambridge did, with Asia Wilson in the building.
She was inspired. You saw a look at Natalie Potts on the bench, who the Huskers have been without her all season. She had that knee injury last year that cut her season short, and she has been going through rehab and trying to get back for the Huskers, but just has not. And you know, they hope to get her back, but it has been a longer process, I think, than anybody had hoped. And she is just such a talented player, and the Huskers miss her presence on the court.
Poked away by Isley, staying UCLA basketball, 4.6 seconds to go. Think about where Nebraska would be aided with the addition of Natalie Potts. She had her surgery at this point over a year ago, still working her way back, but starting to make her way out onto the court. No contact, of course, but always want to see that progress with such a promising player.
Yeah, she was the leading scorer and rebounder for Nebraska at the time of her injury last season.
Roger Walker beats the buzzer. Sienna Betts has had a lot of hustle plays today. No look pass broken up by Claire Johnson, igniting a fast break for the Huskers. UCLA able to thwart it. Prince whips it inside. Petrie one-on-one against Amanda Muse and gets the upper hand with the left hand.
Took a little bit. Nebraska looked like they had a fast break and pulled it out. Good defensive transition for UCLA, but excellent patience by Petrie to score.
Ledger Walker, beautiful shot right in the paint. 8 points for her, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Came close to a rebound assist double-double against Oregon, had just 2 points earlier this season. Meanwhile, for UCLA, coming up for the number 4 team in the country, and they'll be at Minnesota against one of the best defenses in the country, taking on Maryland coming up next weekend. Fooling everyone, Jessica Petrie into the lane for 2.
Petrie finally into double figures, just continuing to be patient and recognizing what the defense, what position they were in to score that easy basket.
Johnson in the passing lane. Petrie and Nisley have really been the bright spots here in the fourth quarter. They've seen into a world championship year at that.
And it will be interesting to see who are the players on the Olympic team for the United States the next time. It was fun to see all the players that were at the Olympic Training Center just recently.
Ledger Walker for 3. She's had a magnificent second half, 3 of 4 shooting from distance. She's got 11 points. 5 Bruins in double figures, and Kiki Rice has 9 points as well. This is as balanced a team you will find.
There's no doubt about it. Inside and out, they score in the paint prolifically. They have good three-point shooters. We've seen Ledger Walker as well as Neepkins hit the threes today. They're so balanced, and they learned so much from that early loss to Texas in November that I think has made them a stronger and more cohesive team.
Offensive rebound for Kiki Rice. That is 14 compared to 7 for Nebraska. Sienna Betts can't quite get it. Pursues the basketball, and Nebraska comes up with it. Claire Johnson slicing through defenders. Here is Nisley from distance. Two minutes to go. Here in the fourth quarter, Sienna Betts, a deep post up. A 3-point play coming up for the freshman.
Sienna Betts is so strong and raw and has done so many good things tonight as she posts up tough against Maupin and just goes strong right at Maupin on the block to draw the foul. We have seen her get a lot of offensive rebounds, loose ball opportunities. You can see what a star she is in the making.
Her season high / career high, 14 points against Long Beach State. And she made her return after missing 10 games to start the year. She's got 12 right now, 6 of 11 shooting, 6 rebounds.
Huskers 14th foul of the fourth quarter.
And UCLA looking for its 6th ranked win this season. They are 5-1. They have wins against Oklahoma, UNC, Tennessee, Ohio State, and USC. That only loss to Texas as Callan Hank fouls out of the game for Nebraska, finishing with 10 points for the senior.
Such a leader for this team and on campus, does so many good things, and they will learn from this and get ready for the next one because it's a gauntlet in the Big Ten Conference.
Time on the side of UCLA. Rice knows it. The three going up by Bilic. Offensive rebound, yet another. That's 15 for the UCLA Bruins. Make that 16.
And they've been able to capitalize. 14 second chance points to just 6.
Kiki Rice, a nasty step back, adding to UCLA's great night here in Lincoln. Under 1:30 to go. Rice today with 12 points, had a couple of triples, 5 rebounds, and a couple of assists as well. She's got another one. Ledger Walker raining it down from 3. She's 4 of 5 from beyond the arc.
She has been ready every opportunity. It was a terrific pass by Kiki Rice as Ledger Walker just fades out beyond the 3-point arc to be available for that pass. She was ready. 6 different players in double figures for the Bruins tonight.
It's incredible. UCLA, an 11-0 run as Christina Karamuzzi enters the game.
Her first personal, team spin, Huskers in the
1:08 to go. UCLA took control of this game midway through the first quarter. It has been all Bruins since. They've led by as many as 27 points. It's not officially going to be a wire-to-wire victory, but pretty close.
And just really taking advantage of their time off this week. It doesn't happen very often. It's a very difficult travel schedule in the Big Ten, but especially for the West Coast teams. And to have that week off and really take advantage of it, they came in here looking very strong and played aggressively as Corey Close wanted them to play.
Sienna Betts close to a career high, can't get that to fall. But Corey Close says one of the lessons she really wants her team to take in right now is Nisley will drain the 3 for Nebraska. That there's a difference between hard work and competing. This is a team that you have to kick out of the gym. She says, I'm lucky to have players that carry that kind of character and demeanor. But it's different when you have that competitive awareness and competitive fight. This is still a journey for us. Blocked by Maupin off the attempt by Sienna Betts and taken right back by Kiki Rice. She says, let's get this one done and in the books. And the 6th ranked win of the season for the UCLA Bruins. The final score here at Pinnacle Bank Arena, 83-61, as number 4 UCLA moves to 15-1 this season.